And if you don't have a big sister, you do now. Welcome to the family, boo.
Let me see your hands. Wave them at them bitches hating on you with their friends. Girl, you got it.
Hey girlies, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. And let's get right into the video. Today I'm bringing the girls a girl talk. It is well needed. First things first I want to talk about is birth control. A lot of questions about are you on birth control? Do you know anything about birth control? Girl, tell us about the birth control. The 4 most common ways of birth control are usually the pill, and you take that at the same time every day. That's how it's recommended. And I'm on the pill, and let me tell you, girl, the pill works. Okay, if anybody told you that that pill does not work, they're lying to you. That pill work, girl, trust me. The second one is the shot, a depot shot. You usually get that every 3 months. The third one is the implant, and you can usually get that on either side of the back of your arm, or whichever one your doctor recommends you to get it on is usually where that one is placed. The implant lasts up for 3 months. And the fourth one I want to talk about is the IUD. That one goes inside your vagina and gets placed into your cervix. That one can last up to 5 to 10 years depending on which brand you and your doctor chooses for you. Let's talk about the pros of birth control. It is the safest and most convenient way of preventing pregnancy. It can make your periods regular, help with period cramps, and help you with acne. Girl, so if you're a girl who struggles with period cramps and acne and just your period is not regular, it may come 2 times a month, or you might not see it until like 3, 5, 6 months away. And if you're a girl like me, you like routine. That having my period every 3, 4 months, I don't know when it's gonna come, that don't work for me. I like to know. I like to have my routine and know when my period is coming and when it's not and all that. So if you're a girl like that, talk to your doctor about getting on some form of birth control, because it can help you, honestly. And some of the cons of birth control, of course, there's pros and cons to everything, so let's talk about the cons. Okay, we can leave it out. Some of the cons are the side effects. There are nausea, headaches, breast tenderness, and some girls experience mood changes. If you've started birth control and if any of those side effects are bothering you to the point where you can't live your everyday life, then definitely go talk to your doctor and see what other birth control maybe you can try, or another brand that you can try. Birth control does not protect against STDs, so it is always and highly recommended to use condoms when you're having sex. Yes, birth control does prevent pregnancy, but those condoms are going to prevent pregnancy and those STDs that we don't want. Second point, I wanted to get into vaginal health. Everything vaginal health when it has to come to hygiene, sex, STDs, common bacterial infections, and things like that. Let's talk about that next. Get into hygiene. A lot of girls, unfortunately, have never been taught a proper way to clean themselves, and girl, I got you. There's a stigma about not cleaning down there with any soap. I wouldn't say any soap, but definitely no soap inside. You can clean with like the outside of your vagina with some mild soap, or like a baby soap. I love Baby Dove to use down there because fragrance free and it's nice and mild, and it doesn't, you know, hurt, burn, anything like that. And also, I'm not putting the soap inside. It is not recommended to clean yourself inside your vagina, because your vagina does that daily. Our vagina cleans itself out, so you don't need to go in there with nothing. No douching, no soap, no anything. You don't need to get in there, girl. It cleans itself. You want to make sure that you're changing your bathing suit as soon as possible. As soon as you're done swimming or in the pool or in the water or wherever you may be with the bathing suit on, you want to take that off, because that wetness is just sitting at your vagina, causing all your bacteria to get thrown off and putting nasty bacteria in there. We don't want that. Take that bathing suit off as soon as you can. Also, don't wear any tight clothing. You know it's gonna be hot outside and you know you're gonna be sweating down there. Don't wear no tight clothing, girl, because it's only just holding that sweat, all that stuff just sitting there. And make sure that you're changing your underwear daily. I know I shouldn't have to say it. You know, some girls may not know. So please change your underwear daily. Cotton underwear is highly recommended for like your everyday wear. Of course, girl, I'm not telling you not to wear any thongs or not try to get cute or your little boy shorts and stuff, you know, because they're more comfortable. But on your everyday wear, try to wear cotton underwear. Recommended to wear cotton underwear because it does not hold any of that moisture that may be in there from sweat or whatever, discharge, all that stuff. The cotton doesn't hold it. If anything, it just absorbs it. Talk about periods next. I just want to put this out here for the girls who don't know. Once you start your period, no matter what age you're at, that's when you can start getting pregnant. Some symptoms of period include cramping, acne, nausea, headache, and fatigue, meaning that you're just tired. And also, when you first start your period, periods do take a while to regulate. You may start your period and it might be very, very light for a day or two, and then in 7 days you might have an actual strong period, and then you might go 3 months without a period. It's just very irregular. So just know that when your period starts, usually it is not regular. It's trying to regulate. I just want to say for my girlies who have just started their period, welcome to womanhood, girl. Welcome. Every girl is different when it comes down to period. Usually you'll take after your mom, but that's not always the case. Talk about pads and tampons. Pads are something that you attach to your underwear that is absorbing the blood. You have to change that pretty regularly. Also tampons. Tampons, a lot of people think that tampons take your virginity. It doesn't, okay? I didn't start using tampons until I lost my virginity personally, but you don't have to. You can start wearing tampons as soon as your period starts if you wanted to. My recommendation on brand is the L with the period. It is 100% organic. Those pads and tampons are really good, and when I started using them, I found that my periods don't last as long. If anything, they are like way shorter. Change your pads and tampons every 2 hours or when they are completely soiled. Please, please, please. This can help with odor. Nobody wants to smell your blood, girl. And any like bacterial infections and things like that we'll get into a little later. But definitely change your pads and tampons every 2 hours. Also, as a young woman, it is highly recommended to keep an emergency kit on you. I mean, if it's either just in your backpack, in your car, in your work bag, in your everyday purse, you never know. You never know what you may need or what your friend may need or your coworker or things like that, girl. We're here to help all the girls. And I will tell you what you should have in your emergency kit. Have extra pads and tampons. You have some wipes. I highly recommend flushable wipes, so you can just wipe and right in the toilet and flush it down. Keep some extra underwear with you just in case you have any accidents or anything. Also, keep Advil or Tylenol with you. Period cramps, headaches, all that stuff, girl. Oof. Okay, you need to pop you a quick little Advil or two. Keep plastic bags on you just so you can throw your soiled pads and tampons in there, so you don't have to throw them in the little bag that they have usually in the public restrooms. Of course, at home you can dispose of them however you may want, but when you're out in public, try to keep plastic bags on you so you can just throw that in there, and it's just sanitary for everybody. All right, let's get into sex. Before having sex, wash yourself, shave, or get a wax or something like that. Clean yourself up down there. Like I said, don't clean inside because you don't want to cause any irritation or anything like that, but make sure you're doing your hygiene before sex. So shower and clean after you have sex, and make sure that you're going pee. Not going pee after sex is the #1 leading cause of UTIs in young women, so make sure that you're going pee after having sex. All right, let's get in some of those common infections that aren't STDs but are irritating. #1, I want to talk about yeast infection. Yeast infection is a fungal infection that is an overgrowth of your normal and good bacteria. You can get this from taking antibiotics, douching, or using scented soaps or scented tampons. Ask me why they make scented tampons, I don't know, but you can get a yeast infection from any of that. Or like I said earlier, putting that soap in there, you can get a yeast infection from that as well. You can also get yeast infections from wearing that bathing suit for too long, not bathing, not cleaning yourself, and all that. You'll know if you have a yeast infection because #1, it is itchy. It is so itchy, like you wanna okay. Also, your discharge turns into a thick, clumpy, white, cottage cheesy looking discharge. How to treat yeast infections: you can get an over-the-counter medication called Monostat, or you can go to your primary care doctor or an urgent care and they can prescribe you diflucan, which is one pill that you take and it takes your symptoms away like that. Next infection I want to get into is bacterial vaginosis. Now, this is a change in your normal pH balance, and it can happen many ways. #1, not using condom, having sex with multiple people, or your partner having sex with multiple people and then coming to have sex with you. The symptoms of bacterial vaginosis are itching, a fishy odor, like a very strong fishy odor, and stronger after you clean yourself. And usually other people can't smell you. You can usually smell yourself first, but I won't say they can't smell you at all if you don't take care of it. Your discharge is like a milky white and gray, and like I said, it smells horrid. It smells like fish. There's nothing wrong with you, but something has thrown off your pH balance. And I just want to reiterate that this is not an STD. It is just a common bacterial infection that happens to us girls because vagina is very sensitive. The only way to treat bacterial vaginosis is an antibiotic from your doctor. Once you get those symptoms, you have to go to the doctor and they will diagnose you with it and prescribe you antibiotics. I do want to talk about boric acid. I will pop up the brand that I recommend. Boric acid is used as a preventative measure for yeast infections and bacterial vaginosis. Some girls like to use it after they've had their period. Sometimes periods can throw off your pH balance as well, so some girls like to use it towards the end of their period. Let's get into the STDs. Number one thing I just want to say is any STD that starts with an H is non-curable. But first I want to talk about chlamydia. Chlamydia is one of the most common STDs that young adults are struggling with. Symptoms of chlamydia include pain during urination, pain and or discomfort during sex. It's a yellow greenish discharge. Your discharge turns from a white discharge to a yellowish and green, and usually it's sticky and things like that. Now it is very important to get tested regularly because a lot of these infections, some of them don't show symptoms or don't show symptoms for a long period of time. You can go months with one of these STDs and not have any symptoms. Giving it to other people, or you and your partner are just giving it back and forth to each other, and it's never gonna heal itself. So you want to make sure that you're getting tested regularly just in case, and just to be sure. You want to always know your status. And also, to throw this in here, you can get tested at your local health department, any Planned Parenthood. Usually your primary care doctor can order the test for you. There's no excuse to not be getting tested in this day and age because it is free. The way they test for chlamydia is by a urine sample or a swab inside the vagina, and they send it to the lab. The only way to treat chlamydia is by antibiotics. Chlamydia is treatable, so you usually take an antibiotic for at least a week, and then you can't have sex for a week after, and then it's all cleared up. Next runner-up of most common STDs is gonorrhea. Gonorrhea symptoms are pain in your lower abdomen, frequent urge to urinate, and abnormal discharge. And also they test for gonorrhea by a urine sample and or a vaginal swab that gets sent to the lab. And the only way to treat it is by antibiotics as well. And the next STD that I want to talk about that is coming up a lot recently, and it's been on the rise recently like crazy. That STD is syphilis. Syphilis presents itself a rash, small sores out on the outside or in the inside of the vagina, sores in the inside that are not painful, and also you experience some itchiness as well. The only way to test for this is by blood. Usually when you go get tested for the common STDs, they usually do a blood test as well to test for syphilis, and your blood just gets sent to the lab. If you don't have anything, usually you don't get a phone call, but if you do have something, best believe that clinic is going to call you. Only way to treat syphilis is by antibiotics as well. All right, let's get into HIV and hepatitis. HIV and hepatitis are not curable at all. Like I said earlier, anything that starts with an H usually is not curable. HIV and hepatitis presents itself in flu-like symptoms. You feel like you have the flu, but they do have a medication called PrEP that helps you lessen your chances on contracting the virus. The only way to test for HIV and hepatitis is through the blood. Usually now they do a finger prick for HIV, and it's a 15-minute test. You get your results in 15 minutes right at the clinic. Last infection that I want to get into for this video is herpes. Herpes is, at least in my city, on the rise like crazy, so let's learn about it. Herpes presents itself in some painful and itchy sores in, outside, around, on the buttocks, everywhere. It can be on your lips. There is no test for herpes. The only way to diagnose herpes is through a physical exam. It is when you have an outbreak and you go to the doctor, and the doctor sees your sores and lesions and can say that you have herpes. Like I said earlier, everything that starts with an H is not curable, so herpes is not curable, but they have medication that lessens your outbreaks. And the last point that I want to touch on in this video is masturbation. It is very important to learn yourself and know what you like and what you don't like, what feels good and what doesn't. Make sure that you're picking a time that you have privacy. Make sure you're cleaning your hands and any toys that you may be using. Make sure to use lubricant so you're not scratching or hurting yourself down there. And just read and watch something that turns you on. Girl, have fun, okay? Enjoy yourself. Have fun with the thought and the action of experimenting on yourself. Usually you have to be 18 years old to purchase a toy or go into a sex store, and they do ID. They have such a huge variety of toys to choose from and to experiment with. So number one is vibrators. You can go in a sex store and talk with the people that are there. They are very knowledgeable about the toys that they sell. And also there's dildos, and there's also all-in-one. So just experiment with all the different ones and see what you like the most. Have fun with it. Anyways, girlies, this is gonna bring this video to a close. I have fun talking with y'all. I hope that y'all learned something from this video. Let me know in the comment section down below what was your favorite point in this video, or what point that you learned the most from in this video. Drop video suggestions down below, because girl, I need to know what y'all want so I can produce these videos. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe. Let's get this out to any young female or young adult who wants to hear this and needs to hear this, okay? Because a lot of us don't have big sisters that we can just go talk to, or have that relationship with our mother that we feel comfortable enough to talk to. I hope that I taught you something today, and until the next video, bye girlies.